Hi everybody, so I'm going to make some vegetarian sausage rolls. I have some leeks here and I have my pot beside me with a little bit of olive oil in it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to saute leeks, or you can use onions either. I'm going to put all of the amounts on the bottom of the screen so you can see. But you're going to do one onion and this I'm going to do kind of I have 2 half leeks here left over from a different recipe. So I'm throwing those into the pot, a little bit of splash of oil. And we're going to use for the bulk of this mixture, which is going to make the inside of the vegetarian sausage rolls, we're going to use a can of lentils. Now you could use a can of chickpeas, or I have a can of lentils. I'm going to use lentils this time. I've used either or. If you're using the chickpeas, just give them a bit of a mash with a potato masher or a fork. And the lentils, you don't need to do anything, so just drain them off. We'll add them to the mixture later on. I'm going to cook a load of vegetables first to give it a bit of flavour. Okay, so you can see the leeks are sautéing away there. I'm putting in 1 grated carrot and about 4 or 5 grated mushrooms. I'm grating them so that the texture will be really small, and also because just adding in a bit of parmesan, or do you hear me? Parsnip. Just adding in a bit of parsnip. While the veg is cooking there, I'm just going to get to some of the other ingredients ready. So I had some halloumi. I'm going to grate that and we'll add that in. You can use any cheese, any hard cheese really. I'm going to use this halloumi because it's left over in the fridge, and I also have the end of a bag of grated mozzarella. I'll throw that in too. And certainly cheeses with a bit of flavour, like strong cheddar or the smoked cheese and things like that, can go quite well with this. Okay, you can see the steam flying out of this. The idea is to get as much moisture out of these vegetables as possible. So it is going to start sticking and you're going to need to mix it like mad, because what you want to do is, like, if you want your sausage rolls to kind of have a bit of texture, you don't want them to be too soggy. So definitely getting as much moisture out of the vegetables as possible is really important. Okay, the kids are arguing in the background, but I'll press pause if it gets bad. So I have here a bowl. What I'm going to do is add those vegetables, the leek and carrot, parsnip and mushroom, that's all sautéed in a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to put these into a bowl here. The lentils in the can are already cooked, so to help this whole mixture cool down, I'm going to add them directly into the bowl, so I'm not waiting ages for this mixture to cool. So it's quite hot there at the moment. I'm going to drain off these lentils, but I want them to be as drained as possible, so I'm going to squeeze out the liquid with my hands. So I'm going to take a handful and squeeze. Now you can do this in a sieve either. I'm going to show you there. Don't worry, my hands are clean. And you don't actually have to eat these ones, so you can make your own. Yeah, if you're using chickpeas, this step isn't as important. It's just that the cooked lentils in a can be quite wet. So you really want to get as much moisture out as possible so you don't have soggy sausage rolls. Now, nearly done. And here in front of me I have my little pile of halloumi that I'm going to put in, but like I say, you can use cheddar or smoked cheese or something like that instead. I'm going to get rid of this. Now, to add for flavour, this is what I have in here now so far. So the vegetables and the lentils. I'm going to give it a minute before I add in my cheese, because I don't really want it to melt yet. It can melt while the sausage rolls are cooking. Okay, I need to add some flavour. I'm going to add some salt. There's no salt in there yet. I have this stuff. liquid smoke. I got this, I think I got it in Avoca. But like I say, if you are adding smoked cheese, that's a really good way of getting smoky flavour in. Or if you like smoked paprika, you put a half teaspoon of it in, and it just kind of makes it a bit more meaty. I'm also going to put in half of one of these Callo organic vegetable stock cubes. Just going to crumble it in really well and give it a good mix. So half of one of those. I think the kids are getting on okay again. Woo! So, okay, so here's my mixture. Right, so putting the lentils in straight from the can has helped cool that down a bit so it's not too hot, which means I might be able to skip straight to the step of actually making these sausage rolls with the puff pastry so that I don't have to hang around for too long. Okay, I'm going to add the cheese. Now, what you can do as well is add in some spices if you want, like maybe a little bit of cumin. I'm going to leave it quite plain. Oh no, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add in a little bit of fresh thyme. Anything that kind of goes well with meat would go well in here. So a little bit of thyme, a tiny bit of rosemary, some grated apple, a spoonful of chutney. Yeah, those kind of things. A little bit of, if you don't mind it not being vegetarian, you can put in a little bit of oxo cube either as well. Okay, I'm going to grab some thyme, pop it in, and then we'll start making them. Okay, so next step is to actually put the sausage rolls together. So I have here a roll of frozen puff pastry that I took out of the freezer yesterday and defrosted in the fridge, or you can use the chilled one. This is really, really easy to assemble. So we're going to actually use the greaseproof paper that this comes on. Just gently roll out the end. It's a little bit stuck now. The frozen one does tend to get slightly more stuck than the chilled, I think, but the frozen one is handy to have as a backup. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is just cut it down the middle, okay? So I'm going to do one big cut down the middle, try and make sure it's pretty much in the middle. Now, I have my mixture here, looks like this. Now, what you really need to want to do is to get that as squished up as possible, because what you're going to do now is put it in a line down the middle of each half, okay?
I want to do that.
Okay, but you're going to have to come over here,
I
right?
want to do the part.
Do this part in the middle, okay? All the way up the middle.
I'm doing
Loads of
that.
egg, okay? That's going to be the glue. You can do the next bit, Oscar. That's it. You need more egg paint. Come on.
Paint. Guys, I'm painting
And the next one. You can have a turn now. Rowena, don't flip it all around the place now. Go on all the way up to the top.
Now I can just pour
Okay,
this
Oski,
on.
no, you're not pouring it on. You are giddy as a monkey today. Oscar, I know you, but come on round this way. Come on, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to fold this over. You can use the stuff to help. And I'm going to squeeze these ends together. Okay, right. So I folded over one half. I'm going to move it out of the way slightly. And I'm going to fold over the other half. So we've put egg wash down the middle to glue it a little bit. I'm just going to fold this over. If your mixture is good and gooey, it will all stay in one lump. If it's too crumbly, it might crumble out when you're doing that. So it really should be fairly well mushed together before you start filling it. Now this side is a little bit over full, but we'll now just use a fork to do this bit, and then I'm going to let Oscar, if you still want to, brush the whole lot with egg. Over here. I'm going to sprinkle on some sesame seeds, which makes a nice little finishing touch, which is totally optional. The egg makes this nice and shiny, gives it just a really nice finish, but you can use milk either, or you can use nothing, but it really does make it a little bit extra special. I'll do these little bits, Oscar. Okay, do you want to do that side? No. Right, and then you can choose what length you want to cut them. So you can do like, you know, this size for like one portion each, or you can do them really thin and use them even like as canapes and stuff like that, or little snacks. I've put them into lunch boxes before, but they came back with severe complaints of the fact that they were cold sausage rolls. Do you remember that? 2 of you went mental at me. But so not everybody likes to eat them cold. I do.
I don't.
I know you.
I do. Do not.
But obviously the smaller you cut them, the quicker they'll be in the oven as well. So when you're very impatient little hungry mouths here, I'll probably cut them quite small. Now, you want to use a good sharp knife and move it back and forth, just like I show the kids to do with their kiddie cutters, so that you don't squish the sausage rolls while you're cutting them.
Sushi!
So you're okay. These are ready for the oven. The kids are getting very hangry in the background there, so this is good timing. So these aren't going to take long, about 10 minutes at 180 degrees.